The mid-2010s is what I like to refer to as the dark age of 1 to 400 scale model airplanes. Gemini Jets was basically controlling the popular market at the time. Almost every US or European carrier model was made by them, and that's when they started to get lazy with their models. They didn't see the need to update their aging molds, as there just wasn't enough competition around. They kept using their molds from the early 2000s, and if that wasn't already bad enough, their quality also got worse, with many models arriving broken to collectors. Dragon Wings had stopped making 400 scale models, and the other brands like Phoenix and JC Wings were more focused on the Asian market at the time. Needless to say, we were in dire need of some new model airplane brands. Everything changed at the back end of the 2010s with the arrival of some new and exciting brands like Aviation 400 and of course NG Models, the brand I want to talk about today. Since their arrival, NG Models have completely changed the industry and become one of the biggest and best brands in 400 scale in less than 10 years. This is their story so far. It all started in 2017 with some rumors spreading about a new brand in 1 to 400 scale, a new generation of models, NG Models. They released their very first 400 scale model in January of 2018, a beautiful Boeing house color 757-200. The community was blown away by this incredible attention to detail of this model. No brand had ever made a mold that was this accurate to the real aircraft, and the printing was also phenomenal. This is a model I would love to have in my collection, but it's super rare nowadays and expensive as heck. NG Models continue to produce a variety of different 757s, and the collectors took notice. Their next new mold came soon, and already at the end of 2018 they also had the Boeing 787-9 in their repertoire. Once again, this model was way ahead of what the competition was offering at the time. Soon NG Models were available around the world and all seemed to go in the right direction. What followed next was one of the biggest scandals in model airplane history. Threatened by NG Model's success, a big American brand, I wonder who this could be, started to warn retailers around the world that they would stop providing them with new models if they decided to sell NG Models at their shop. Clearly, this unknown brand realized that their models just weren't as good as what NG managed to produce. Rather than improving their own models, they decided to start a model airplane war. Legends have it that this war is still going on behind the scenes to this day. Even with all that, there was no way of stopping NG Models, however. Over the coming years, they would release a load of new molds, including the Boeing 737-800, the 747 SP, the Airbus A321 and A330, as well as the Lockheed TriStar. These were all superb models, and the release choices were great too. We got models from a variety of popular US and European airlines, as well as some Asian ones as well. There were sometimes a few quality control issues, but in general their models were always the best of the best. When I started my YouTube channel in 2020, everyone was talking about NG Models and just how much better they were than the competition, especially Gemini Jets. The very first NG Models I got was the Aero Mexico 787 in the Quetzalcoatl livery, and I was instantly blown away by the near perfection of this model airplane. NG Models had truly arrived, and they were here to stay. If you're enjoying this video so far, why not drop a like? Making these videos takes a lot of time and I really appreciate it. Thanks! Moving on. Over the coming years, NG Models would grow at a rapid pace, quickly becoming one of, if not the biggest brand in 400 scale. They added a variety of new aircraft types to their catalog, including the complete Airbus A320 family, the A350, a range of different Boeing 737 variants, the 747-400, 757-300, and of course all 767 and 777 variants. Generally speaking, these are all very good models and a very welcome addition to the scale. During this time, NG also started to experiment with different series of models. In 2024, they launched their NG Lite series. The models are around 20% cheaper than the standard versions and feature less printed detail, and the antennas are also completely missing. It's a good idea to make some budget models, but sadly they rarely release any. NG also started their Ultimate Collection series around the same time. Some of the more popular models, like the Swiss A350s, get both a regular release as well as an Ultimate Collection one. The models are the exact same, with the only difference being that you get a nicer hard cardboard box and a metal stand with the model. The premium models will usually cost around $5,000 to $10,000 more, which I think is fair. The Ultimate releases are also much more frequent than the light ones, with around 3 to 4 models released every month. Those are interesting ideas, but what really helped NG models stand out from the competition is the reward system they introduced in 2022. When buying an NG model, you get a code which will give you a certain amount of points when entered into the NG model's website. A model will usually give you between 10 to 15 points, and you can use these points for different benefits. You can use them to wish for a certain model airplane you want to see made in the future, and other collectors can then vote for the model using their points. Another way to redeem your points is during a rewards event. These events usually happen every few months, and it allows you to exchange your points for basically a free model airplane. The models will usually cost you around 50 to 120 points depending on the type. It's a really good idea, and right now it remains unique to NG models. All of this helped them to become the powerhouse we know them as today. A brand with a flawless reputation, right? NG has started to regress a bit lately, and the collectors took notice. Some of their newer molds, like the 767-300, had inaccurate winglets. The promised A340s have seemingly vanished, and their releases got less interesting in the past year or so. They have started to focus more on the Asian market, leaving many Western collectors frustrated. Another problem is their wish center. It often seems like they don't really take some of our wishes serious, even though they get many votes. It really gives you a kind of false hope, and it's a real shame, as the general idea is a really good one. I think NG models expanded a bit too fast, making it difficult to maintain the same quality that they were once known for. So, where does NG models stand today? NG models have definitely had their struggles in recent years, and I'm not always on board with their release choices. However, they remain one of the best brands in 400 scale to this day. They have a huge variety of different aircraft types in their catalog, and they're all well above average. I would go as far as to say that NG Models has never made an outright terrible model airplane when looking at the accuracy and quality. That's a statement I don't think I could make about many brands, at least not brands that are this big. Personally, I'm still a huge fan of NG Models, and around a third of my 200 plus model airplane collection is in fact from them. 9 out of 10 times, it's worth getting their models over other brands, and I think that says more than enough. I'm very excited to see what they will produce in the future, and in case anyone from NG Models is watching this video, I want to thank you for saving us from the dark age of 400 scale and setting new standards of what a model should look like. Let me know what you think about NG Models down in the comments. I'd love to hear your opinion. Also, which brand do you want me to cover next on the channel? Don't forget to subscribe to Swiss 400 for more interesting model airplane content. If you're in the mood for another video, why not watch one of these next? Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, goodbye aviators!